There's this powerful force that's constantly at play in our lives, shaping our decisions, our relationships, often without us even realizing it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden game of attraction. And it all starts with this one big question. Is attraction just this pure, uncontrollable feeling that washes over us? Or could it be something that's deliberately, even strategically, built? Well, it turns out it's very often the second one. See, beneath the surface of almost all our interactions, there's this constant, invisible game of attention and emotion being played. And honestly, very few people even know the rules. So to really get what's going on, we have to know who the players are. It basically boils down to two key roles, the one doing the attracting and the one being attracted. Let's break down who they are, and more importantly, what they really need. Think about some of the classic types who just seem to have mastered this. You've got the charmer, right? The one who makes you feel like the absolute center of the universe. Then there's the coquette, who's a master of that push and pull. Or the ideal lover, who somehow becomes everything you ever dreamed of. And of course, the natural, whose innocence is just so captivating. The one thing they all have in common, they never chase. They expertly attract. And here is their secret, the one principle they all get. People don't fall for reality. They fall for how you make them feel. It's not about who a person actually is. It's about the feeling they create inside of you. That feeling, that's the engine for this whole thing. But here's the catch. This strategy only works because it taps into something we all have. The target, as our source material calls them, usually has this deep, unspoken desire, a need to feel seen, to feel important. The person playing the game is just really good at spotting that need and making themselves look like the answer. Okay, so let's get into the how. How is this powerful illusion actually put together? It's not magic, and it's not random. It's actually a pretty clear four-step process. It all starts with something small, the spark. Just a look, a smile, something that feels a little different, you know? That spark of curiosity leads to the opening, and a conversation starts. Then that conversation deepens, and you get the connection. A real bond starts to form. And finally, before you even realize it's happening, that bond creates the dependence. You start to care a lot. And this is why it's so potent. They listen so well, they seem to understand you perfectly, mirroring your own desires back at you. They become the missing piece you didn't even know you were looking for. And at that point, your guard is completely down. You're all in, emotionally. But here's the thing, a connection that's built on a performance, on an illusion, well, it's just not stable. And this is where the whole thing becomes a pretty serious cautionary tale. As the source material puts it, with this kind of chilling finality. And illusions don't last forever. This is the moment when the cracks start to appear. That perfect reflection of you begins to warp. The incredible feeling of being seen starts to fade into this confusing uncertainty. The connection that felt so deep now just feels distant. And it's an incredibly disorienting and painful place to be. And it leaves you with this devastating question. One that can echo for a long, long time. Was any of that real? Or was it all just a game that was beautifully played? So, look, understanding all this isn't about becoming cynical. It's about recognizing the power that this knowledge gives you. And with that power comes a really fundamental choice, which brings us to our last section here, choosing real connection. This knowledge really puts two very different paths in front of you. On one side, you have illusion, which is all about performance and control. On the other, you have authentic connection, which is about being genuine and sharing. One is temporary. It's designed to be. The other is built to last. And this leads us to what might be the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. The real art, the real power, isn't found in mastering the game of making someone fall for you. It's in being someone worth falling for. And that one idea, it just reframes everything. It moves the focus away from manipulating others and puts it right back where it belongs, on your own character, your authenticity, and your own self-worth. So we're left with one final powerful question. Now that you know the difference between these two paths, and you see the potential for both real harm and real good, what's the choice you're going to make? Will you choose connection over illusion?